Hi, my name is Victoria Seidlecki,
And my name is Garrett Wanaka.
and today we'll be talking about the migratory American bison and some of the survey techniques.
So the problem with surveying American bison is that they are migratory, with a current range from the southern part of Yellowstone to outside of the park in Montana. This makes it incredibly difficult to monitor and survey as during their migration they move through very difficult elevation, terrain, and climate. Combine that with their ability to move long distances in one day, it is a challenge to continuously survey them. Because of the difficulty of monitoring such migratory species such as bison, we will be discussing some of the passive and active methods used to monitor them and determine which one is the most effective. Some of the more traditional methods are camera traps. Camera traps can be good depending on the quality of the camera that you buy. They can be left out for very long periods of time. This will allow more natural movement in front of the camera and a more natural understanding of the bison's. Um, Typically, uh, camera traps are not good at capturing large terrestrial animals such as bison, as they have a very narrow field of view. So while you might get a head or a butt of one bison, you're not going to be able to see the large herd behind them, and you're not going to be able to survey them correctly. Another traditional method is transect sampling. Transect sampling is great because it is cheap to do and requires minimal training. um, it can also be combined with local ecological knowledge to get a better understanding of where and how the species move through the environment without seeing them. This can be done by tracking the animal by looking at their tracks and the scat they leave behind. Um, Transect sampling can be dangerous as bison have caused numerous injuries within the Yellowstone National Park, and it can also introduce human error into identifying species. um, we believe that there's better ways to monitor this species. For this, I'll hand it over to my partner to explain.
Yeah, so some of the more advanced techniques include GPS collars. You can track an individual species where humans can't go. You can also, you're going to sedate them to attach the GPS collar, and you can collect DNA sampling, sex, age, health, size, so much data on this animal when you sedate it. And you obviously track its movements, but you're going to need expertise. It can cause some trauma to the animal, and it's kind of expensive. Um, our next method is aerial surveys, and this can be satellites, unmanned, and manned aircrafts. Each has their pros and cons, but some of the main points I'll talk about is specifically manned aircrafts like a helicopter. You can, you're flying over an area, so humans can virtually go anywhere. You can adjust any of the sensors or anything that you need, whether it be like a thermal imaging. You can adjust that to your specific study and what you want to study. There's real-time surveys, so you don't need to process it. Um, and but some of the cons are you're going to need expertise to fly the aircraft, safety, expense, and with them going under different brush and different climates, you're going to miss, if they're not in your line of sight, you can miss the some of the bison. Um, but overall, after looking at all of our methods, we recommend using GPS collars in conjunction with aerial survey methods, specifically manned aircrafts like helicopters. The collars allow you to monitor an individual, and then as that individual moves within the herd, you can gain all of that extra data and survey the herd. It's been shown to be used in other similar migratory species like caribou, and we've seen fitted collars on bison before. So if you want to follow precedented studies, usually they use a combination of methods. So whether it's camera traps and aerial surveys or transects and camera traps, they usually use at least two methods. Since it's a migratory species, you got to cover a lot of ground. Um, but we think the best combination would be GPS collars and aerial surveys. If you have any questions, please let us know and we'll try to answer them. Thank you.